Objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, everyone agrees that our immigration system is broken. The immigration system we have now hurts our economy and it hurts our national security. The Senate passed a bipartisan immigration bill. The House of Representatives chose not to act. Again, the Senate passed a comprehensive immigration bill. That's why I supported the executive action by President Obama to address our immediate immigration crisis. We cannot wait for the House of Representatives Republicans to act. And that's because immigration is one of our country's greatest strengths. Immigrants are a vital part of the fabric of Massachusetts and of our country. They start businesses, they create jobs, and they contribute to our communities. The President's executive order recognizes the value of immigrants to our country. President Obama's executive order will bring millions of law-abiding immigrants out of the shadows and help to keep those families together. The order allows law enforcement to focus its resources where they belong, reinforcing security at our borders and prosecuting and deporting dangerous criminals who pose threats to public safety. This executive action cannot and should not be viewed as the final word on the matter of immigration reform. It is the beginning of an effort to permanently fix our broken immigration system. What unites us in Massachusetts and all across America is the unshakable belief that no matter where you come from, no matter what your circumstances, you can achieve the American dream. The immigration system we have now doesn't reflect those values. Unfortunately, instead of working to fix the problems with our immigration system, the majority of the Senate has been manufacturing a government shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security, even as our nation faces real threats to our safety and our national security if we don't fully fund the Department of Homeland Security. The majority seems more interested in undermining President Obama's border policy than funding actual border protection in our country. Let's look at what could happen if Homeland Security funding lapses. Number one, FEMA efforts. FEMA is a part of the Department of Homeland Security. FEMA efforts in Massachusetts to develop a preliminary damage assessment for disaster relief funding may be interrupted. The people in my home state of Massachusetts are suffering from the second snowiest winter in our history. We have endured more than 8 feet of snow. Those snow piles are climbing even higher. Seawalls that protect our shores are crumbling. Roofs are collapsing. Homes are being destroyed. Small businesses are shuttered while owners struggle to make ends meet. Cities and towns across the Commonwealth have overspent their budgets by tens of millions of dollars responding to one snowstorm after another. But instead of the relief that should come with the assurance that FEMA assistance is on the way, people of Massachusetts have to worry that this Republican-manufactured government shutdown threat is jeopardizing this critical assistance. The last thing the people of Massachusetts should have to worry about is whether their disaster assistance will be delayed by the politics of immigration reform. This is absolutely outrageous. Massachusetts needs the disaster relief today. Number two, an estimated 30,000 Homeland Security employees would have to be furloughed, including those who process federal grants for local, police, fire, and other first responders. Firefighters might not get the best oxygen masks. Bomb squads might not get the right equipment they need. These are hard-working people who help to protect our nation and help our first responders do their jobs. And number three, a Department of Homeland Security shutdown would compromise our national security by stopping command and control activities at Department of Homeland Security headquarters, disrupting important programs like detecting weapons of mass destruction. Homeland Security employees remaining on the job will not get paid, and those who are furloughed will be left to wonder whether they will ever be paid for the work which they have missed. This uncertainty hurts morale and can put families in financial jeopardy. It's time for Republicans to end this brinksmanship and help pass a clean Homeland Security budget free of unrelated policy riders. And then we should get to work on comprehensive immigration reform. The immigration system we have now doesn't reflect our time-honored values as a melting pot of diversity and cultural innovation. It hurts our economy. It hurts our national security. In short, our immigration system is broken. But for millions of immigrants who are living in the shadows, who are working every day to support their families, who have been brought up here from a young age, who are serving our country in the military or pursuing the dream of higher education, these people deserve a path that allows them to earn citizenship. That's why we need to work together on comprehensive immigration reform. It will give more families and individuals a real shot at the American dream. It will encourage immigrants who are educated here to innovate here. This is an important debate, and we should have it, and we should not have it at the expense of the safety and the security of our nation. I call on my Republican colleagues to bring forward a clean Department of Homeland Security funding bill, free of unrelated policy riders dealing with immigration. Let's give the people of our country the confidence that the Department of Homeland Security is going to protect against al-Shabaab launching a successful attack against the Mall of America. That a terrorist group cannot now be put together thinking, perhaps erroneously, that the Department of Homeland Security has taken its eye off the ball while worrying about the funding levels that are necessary in order to secure our country. I lived through this in Boston. Mohammed Atta and the other 9 who hijacked the 2 planes on September 11th of 2001, they thought they could find an opening, and they did, in our airline security. In 2013, the Sanea brothers thought they could find a hole in our security, and they attacked again in Boston. We should not have any question raised about the Department of Homeland Security being on the job, of them protecting our citizens, of providing the needed security which our country needs. That is where we are right now. And the Republicans are holding up the funding of this vital agency under the misguided notion that they're going to be able to write the entire comprehensive immigration bill inside of the Department of Homeland Security budget. It's not going to happen. Everyone in this country knows it's not going to happen. It's a dangerous game with the security of our country, which the Republicans are playing with. So I ask all who make the decisions in the Republican Party to please tell their most radical members that the Department of Homeland Security must be funded. It must be funded this week. We must not only pay those who work for us, but we should thank them every day for the security which they provide for our country. I yield back the balance of my time.
Mr. President.